Hi, in this video we are going to talk about the gray matter of the spinal cord. It has the ventral column and the dorsal column with the dorsal spinal nerve roots and the ventral spinal nerve roots, okay? So the ventral columns will send the motor supply, right? It has two types of nerve cells, the alpha and the gamma. Now, the alpha neurons, they are multipolar as well as the gamma neurons. Most of the neurons in the ventral column are alpha and some are gamma. Now, the alpha neurons supply to the skeletal muscle, while the gamma neurons, they supply to the neuromuscular spindles and stimulate the intrafusal muscle there. So here we will show in a diagram the muscle and the neuromuscular spindle in the green, and then we will draw another group of neuron or another nerve cell coming and supplying the muscle, and this is the largest. This is the large ones, okay? The alpha and the gamma are the small ones. Now, the ventral column is divided into three group of nerve cells for the practical purpose, okay? If we draw another diagram, and this is your spinal cord, and show the medial group, and it will extend throughout the spinal cord. If you do the section at any level of the spinal cord, you'll find the medial group. So if this is a medial group, since M stands for medial, it supplies the trunk, the neck, and the abdominal muscles. So the main, trunk, and neck, remember, for M, right? Now, we have another group of nerve cells. These are the central, and they are small. And if we see in the diagram, they are located in the cervical region and the lumbosacral segments. So here are the four different spinal cord segments that I've shown. So here is the lumbosacral segment as well. So if we put the cervical segment outside and C1 to C8, now the C3 to C5, they send the fibers. See there, the motor. They send the fibers to the diaphragm, and these are called the phrenic nucleus, right? And then from C1 to C5 or 6, the other fibers or axons, they stimulate or the trapezius muscle, the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So these nuclei will call accessory nucleus. And the lumbosacral region from L2 to S1, they have the distribution of axon, which has unknown region, okay? So we have the central group here, and now we have the lateral group of neurons, and we will put them in on both sides and then in the other diagram as well. So the lateral, remember L. The lateral are the cervical as well as the lumbosacral region as well. So if you do the section at these two regions, you'll find them. So the lateral group supplies to the four limbs. L for lateral, L for limbs, remember? Now here we will talk about the dorsal column of the spinal cord. If we draw here the neurons, this will be the substantia gelatinosa, right? Now this is a group of neurons which is called the substantia gelatinosa, and they are very dorsal. And here we will draw another box just to denote or the substantia gelatinosa. If we draw the spinal cord and show where and how many segments they extend, so it will be extended throughout the spinal cord. So here is cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and sacral segments, okay? Now, what sensation they receive? They receive the pain, temperature, and touch. And this is the first order neuron that terminates in the substantia gelatinosa. Okay, so we have another group of neurons. Now here is the nucleus proprius. Okay, so if we draw here in the other diagram, it will also extend throughout the spinal cord. If you do the section at any level, you will find the nucleus proprius. Here is the box that will denote the nucleus proprius. Okay, so since there is P that stands for proprius, it also P stands for position, P for proprioception, and P for point, 2-point discrimination. These fibers that brings these sensation will terminate in the nucleus proprius. Okay, so we have dorsally another group of neurons, and it will be called the dorsal nucleus. Okay, so they lie dorsally in the spinal cord. If you see, they're very near to the dorsal column, and they will receive the neuromuscular spindles and the tendon spindles, the proprioception from these spindles, and they will terminate here in the dorsal nucleus. And then lateral to it, we have the visceral afferent nucleus. Now, if we draw the dorsal nucleus here in the spinal cord, it extends from C8 to L3 or 4, right? So this is the dorsal nucleus, also called the Clark's column. We have the visceral afferent nucleus that will extend from T1 to L3, right? So here is your T1 to L3, the visceral afferent nucleus. Now the visceral afferent nucleus will receive the information from the viscera, and they will terminate here, right? This is your dorsal and ventral. Now we have one more column. This is called the lateral gray column. The lateral gray column is the autonomic nervous system, which is the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. It depends if it's in the sacral region. Now, if it's in the sacral region, this lateral column have to be preganglionic parasympathetic nervous system. But if it's in the in the spinal cord from T1 to S3 or 4, it will be sympathetic nervous system. So this is your gray matter of the spinal cord. I hope it will help you, and thank you for watching. Bye.